Very good evening, my dear friends. A warm welcome for our grand revision of our cost and management audit. So hope my voice is clear. We can start the session. Hope my voice is clear. We can start the session. Okay.
Sir, one small request.
So now we will start the session.
Sir, one small request, sir.
Please type in chat box. I will look video. Yes, my dear friends, we will start the session. We are starting the session. Cost and management audit. Cost and management audit. So, as you are aware that, cost and management audit is now one of the very interesting and scoring paper after introducing your online pattern of examination, because they're asking more of questions which are MCQ model. Even problem question also they are started asking for MCQ model. So you can get lot of savings in the time. Let us take an example. Let us make it 1 point. If you take just for a sake any one particular topic, let's say value addition. If an offline exam, we have to do proper format. The same value addition question, they may ask you PPT. You have to do again the proper format. Now the entire thing you can do shortcut method in your own way. You have to just check the final answer correct or. So that means it is very useful for you to time saving. As per the new pattern, now this cost and management audit we can complete even 1.5 hours or maybe less than that. So we will start the idea or how to approach of the cost and management audit. See this cost and management audit, let us take you an overview how this paper and how we gonna approach the session and all. So this cost and management audit, if you take into, mainly we have that is section A, we call cost audit related provision. That is cost audit provisions. These cost audit provisions generally coming two area. One is in the Companies Act provision. Another one it is what? You are correct. That is Companies Audit Rule. That is we can say rule. Simply we can say rule. So Companies Act provision and rule provision. This is what the first two chapter of your study material or the first introduction of your areas. So these area, as per the new pattern, earlier in the theoretical pattern, there is around 20-25 mark weightage. Now these two chapters you have after the new pattern. If you look into now the theory question asking is getting less. Earlier there is a direct theory question was there from here. So here the theory questions are reduced. So the maximum mark you can score from here it is now around 12 to 15 mark. Earlier you can score up to 20 to 25 mark because theory questions were asking. Now the proportion of theory is less, as you know. Second and third subdivision may be only coming for theory. Balance all are MCQ model problem only. Balance all are MCQ model or problem only. So you have cost audit provision. Companies Act rules and other provisions will come around 20 to 50 mark. Then we have problem area. See, let us discuss what all the problem area. Problem area as per the new pattern. Problem area as per the new pattern. We have around problem area as per the new pattern. We have around 40 to 50 mark problem area. That is a minimum 3 subdivision question is coming. So this online MTP question without choice question, your president is already announced that for you there will be choice. So that means problem proportion may increase. So we have around 40 to 50 mark problem area. which consists of profit reconciliation area, value addition, then the ratio analysis related problem, then other problem that we can call it as waste multiplier problem, treatment of abnormal cost, then a CAS related problem. CAS related problem means there are problems on CAS 4, CAS 2, CAS 6, CAS 8, CAS 10, all those CAS related problems. Then performance analysis problem. Performance analysis problem generally we call case study basis. Generally we call, they will give one case study and accordingly whether the existing option is good or proposed option is good. That is what is called case study problem. Then we have another area called case study related problem, then performance analysis problem. Then we have another area in the problem area called, see in your area, general labor and cost sheet problem they are asking. General labor and cost sheet problem they are asking. That will come. Then industry related cost sheet. Industry related cost sheet. What is this industry related cost sheet? If you look into your study material or workbook, you can able to say that steam boiler, power, a lot of industry related cost sheet they will ask. These are all the problem area coming for your exam, which fetch around 40 to 50 marks. Then definitely the next area is called MCQ. Definitely the next area is called MCQ, which will fetch you around 20 marks, as you know. If you want to get this 20 marks, you should be clear on your theory concept. You should be clear on your theory concept. Now you have your theory concept. What all the theory concept we have? We have theory on cost accounting standards are there. We have theory on what? Cost standard on cost audit is there. We have theory on what? Cost accounting standard, standard on cost audit. Then see, as per the new area in the old syllabus, latest edition material, they have made a lesser syllabus, that is professional misconduct. Professional misconduct is there, but in the new material they have left out the point. That is the schedule entirely left out in that. So those students who are attended the regular class before the December attempt, if you are attended June attempt or December 2019, in your study material, latest study material, there is a big changes in this professional misconduct chapter. So while taking those area, I will tell what is the changes. While discussing those area, I will tell what is the changes. So we have professional misconduct is there. Then we have another area called management audit. We have another area called management audit. Then XBRL. So far there is no question. We have an area called preparation of report under XBRL. Preparation of this thing under XBRL. So CAS. So we have standard on cost audit. Then other theory area. Already here 2 theory area we have discussed. Then general some theory areas are there. This is what for your portion. So now see this subject alone. We had an overview of the subject because today is the first class. I want to tell you how we gonna approach. How we gonna approach, I want to tell you very clearly. So the first thing, it is a rapid revision concept where we want to brush up you the concept. These are rapid revision classes where we want to. This is the rapid revision classes where we want to brush up you the all the concept. So our entire intention of covering this thing will be, our entire intention of covering this will be purely as a perspective of those concepts. So how will be our area today? The first day evening session, we will have the base concept. What is the base concept? Where we have around 20 to 15 mark weightage, where we gonna discuss about, what is the cost audit, what is the due date for cost audit, what all the company cost audit is applicable, and when the cost audit is applicable, main important timing on what all the forms related to cost audit, then who can appoint as a cost auditor, when will be the cost auditor will be appointed. All those MCQ will be sold in this 12 to 15. This will be our starting session. This will be our starting session. Then in the coming classes, we will have a discussion on what these problem area. We will have a discussion on these problem area. Since it is a rapid revision classes, our entire idea will be how the approach, and we will do selected problem for each area, selected problem, so that it will be benefit for you to understand also. If we just revise and go problem, if you don't do problem, if you don't give, then it will not be useful for you. Problem, if you don't do, it will not be useful for you. So we will discuss the problem also for your benefit. We will discuss also problem for your benefit. Then this theory area, see theory area, we don't gonna approach the class. Theory area, we will give you how to approach the theory area. Theory area, how to approach. See, there are few cost accounting standard where the questions are regularly testing. So we will highlight you these are all the cost accounting standard. You should be very clear on that, how they will approach the question for you. Those concepts we will discuss. That is how the exam perspective they are testing in this theory area, because that will be helpful for in your preparation. In the last session, I will give you a combination of MCQ. Which will help you to understand. This combination is only for the MTP question. MTP, we have 6 sets are there. We will give you MTP combination. Other sets also we will share with the session. This will be the entire idea of the session. So mostly we can able to cover almost all area, because it's a small subject. So we can able to cover almost all area. See, I think the cost audit, just for CFR time purpose, we have kept for 4 classes. But the cost audit, we are making 3 days will be the revision. That is 3 days will be the revision. Fourth day will be the fourth day, if required, we will take as a reserve. Fourth day we will require, because it's a problem area and not very, very small area. Problem area, very, very small area, because profit reconciliation you state in your intermediate, then value addition, CS problem also. The same thing, it is very easy to able to score. So our intention will be, our planning will be 3-day session, and the fourth day will be reserved. Suppose if it is any portion is not completed, we will discuss on the fourth day. So hope you are ready. And let me tell you, since it is a rapid revision classes, we will try to give you the notes we are taking in the class. That means today most of the area I will use in the journal. So this journal will share with you. But the journal, let me have some difficulties are there. Those who attended our SFM classes, some of the journal we are not able to say, some crack issue made. So what happened now? Parallelly, this class, you will get a video, YouTube video will be shared with you. If any one of you miss any session, suppose some friends may not be able to attend the full session, they may be working. If you are not able to attend the full session, this entire class will be available in YouTube. You can able to watch it on YouTube. Immediately the next day, if today is the class, next day generally we will upload the classes, so you can able to watch it in the YouTube also. So anyway, we will try to give you the notes also. I will use the journal because it's a theory session. Important date, everything I will use the journal. You can also parallelly copy, or else we will share you the things, because Excel I can able to share you, because no problem of sharing will come. Journal, there are some technical issue will be there. So this is all about the introduction of the session. So hope you are ready. We can start. My voice, everything is clear. I hope so. Okay. So we will start. So we are starting with a cost audit provision. So I am repeating once again, this provision will be discussed in the class now. No handout will be given for provisions. Only handout will be given for problem. Only handout will be given for problem. No handout will be given for theory. Only handout will be given for problem that I will give you separately. Here we are sharing you the concept. We will go very slowly because very small subject, you can able to crack it very fast. Second thing, this journal also I will share you. For your benefit, I will share in PDF format. So no problem of viewing will not be there. I will share you in PDF format. So there will not be no issue of viewing will be there. So we will start the session. So very important, only 3-day session, three-day classes. You can score in the revision class. I am telling you now on, if you attend the revision class live, you can score minimum 60 plus. If you are attend live session live, you can attend minimum 60 plus live, because we are giving weightage of more important old area. We are giving weightage of all the important area. So we can start the session. So we are starting with the cost audit. So we will start step by step all the concept. We are discussing that probable question can be tested for your exam also. So the first point you are discussing is what is the cost audit, the main objective. What is the cost audit? The main objective. The main objective of cost audit. See, you all know about cost accounting. Cost accounting where you have records of cost. So these records of cost, whether it is correct or not, that is what taking under cost audit. So the main objective is true and fair view of cost of production and providing the service. That means whether the cost of production calculated by the company is correct or not. In your statutory audit, where we are checking whether the balance sheet and P&L is giving true and fair view. The financial position and financial statement, true and fair view. When it comes to cost audit, it is what? True and fair view of cost of production and cost of providing the service. Apart from that, we can able to save the wastage, we can able to avoid the wastages, we can improve the efficiency. A lot of general objectives are there. I am coming to the core area. What is the main objective? Coming to another important regularly coming question, 1965. In the year 1965 only, the cost audit first time applicable. The cost audit is applicable for the first time. The cost audit is applicable for the first time, which year? 1965. The cost audit is applicable for the first time in 1965. Now moving further, the cost audit. How the cost audit provision is coming? Cost audit provisions we can take two right now. One is in Companies Act 2030. Companies Act 2030. Another one it is Companies Cost Record and Audit Rule 2040. This is the two area where the entire cost audit is discussed. Companies Act 2013 and Companies Cost Record and Audit Rule 2040. In Companies Act, where it is discussed? Companies Act, it is discussed in Section 148. It is mainly discussed under Section 148. Now coming into company things where it is discussed, it is Rule 126. Companies Cost Audit Record Rule. We have 6 rules are there. Rule 126. So it is there in the Rule 126. So the cost audit provisions mainly discussed under Companies Act Section 148, Companies Cost Record and Audit Rule, Rule 126. Now going further, step by step we will discuss. See, if you want to do cost audit, see, you have understood one thing. What is cost audit? What is a cost audit? True and fair view of cost of production or providing the service. So first you should have what? If you want to cost audit, first you should have cost records. If you want to do cost audit, first you should have what? Cost records. What is cost records? Cost records is the records in which items related to the production will be dealt with. So the cost records, it is discussed under Companies Act. Cost records is a item comes under books of account definition. Companies Act, it is an item comes under books of account definition. See, my dear friends, if you go through the Companies Act provision, if you go to the Companies Act provision, as per, okay, since I am not, I will make it here itself. Not made it here. Okay. Section 2, subsection 30. Section 2, subsection 30 define the books of account. Define the books of accounts. So another one point. See, in your for your exam, there is MCQ will be also tested. So for the MCQ benefit also, probable testing area we are highlighting. See, if you go through, not required MCQ only. See, if you go through the books of accounts definition, if you go through the books of accounts definition, the last one, the fourth one, it is telling very clear. Items of cost may be prescribed under section 148 will also belong to the class of company. That means section 2, subsection 30 define books of accounts also. Section 2, subsection 13 discuss books of accounts also. So it can be tested differently. These books of accounts include what? It includes cost records also. It includes cost records also. So they may be testing that whether the books of records provision is applicable for cost audit. The answer is what? Yes. Cost record. Sir, what is cost records? Cost record means if you want to do cost audit, you should have some paper. Simply one meaning we can say some paper. Those papers to do cost audit is called what? Cost records. What these cost records will have? These cost records will have records of product wise, what are all the expenses incurred for producing the product or providing the service. So coming to here, section 128, it tells about, this is another area they can be tested for your exam. Section 128 is the another area they can be tested for your exam. What is section 128 tells about? So where and all they will ask the question, those points I am making in the journal itself. We will give you journal for your reference. We will give you journal for your reference. Books of account section 128. Books of account section 128 tells maintenance of books of accounts. It tells maintenance of books of accounts. So this is an online pattern exam. They won't ask you the fully. Some important provision. See the some important provision what? It has to be kept for 8 years. It has to be kept for 8 years. So there can be a question will come. They won't ask books of accounts. If they ask books of accounts, we know the answer. They will ask one question. X and Y company maintaining cost records only for 4 years or maintaining cost records from so and so years. Whether it is as per the rule, it is correct or not. So what you have to understand, this cost records, this maintenance will go with what? Books of accounts, because cost record is also what? Books of accounts. So books of accounts has to be kept for how many years? 8 years. So this both will be applicable. So it will be applicable for 8 years. Then your general point only, it will be kept in the HR, that is registered office. It will be kept in the registered office, or if it is available during office time. Now another one thing that can be tested is called penalty. Another one thing that can be tested is called penalty. So what is the penalty? Is that penalty is that 25,000 up to 5 lakh. Penalty will be 25,000 up to not 25, it is 50,000. 50,000 up to 25 is for next provision. So the penalty 50,000 up to 5 lakh. And second thing, that imprisonment up to 1 year. Imprisonment up to 1 year. So I will repeat once again. If they want to test on books of accounts, two area can be tested. One is section 2 subsection 30, that is cost records include the books of accounts. Then section 128, maintenance of books of accounts, that is it is kept for 8 years and it should be at the registered office. So the penalty will be what? 50,000 and up to 5 lakh, or imprisonment up to 1 year. This will be all. That is either of them. Now we will go for the main area. That is, we have understood that cost audit, if you want to do, you should have cost records. What is cost records? It is a part of books of accounts. What is the provisions of books of accounts? Also we discussed. Now we will go for the main thing. See, if a company, before making applicability to cost audit, it is mainly based on applicability of cost records. What is that? See, every company, whether they need to maintain cost records, answer is no. What is the answer? No. So which company you want to make? I will tell you. So applicability of cost records. Applicability of cost records. So what role the applicability of cost records? Applicability of cost records. It discussed mainly two things. See, we were discussing section 148 subsection 1 and rule 3. See, now section, whenever I say, it is belongs to what? Companies Act. Other is rule said that what? Rule. Companies cost record audit rule. I just say rule. So section 148(1) and rule 3 discuss about applicability of cost records. Section 148(1) and rule 3 discuss about applicability of cost records. What it discuss about cost records? See, we are discussing, it is mainly discussed. See, for cost audit purpose, we have classified companies into two. There are regulated or non-regulated. Regulated or non-regulated. Sir, I am having doubt. What is meant by regulated, sir? Can you help me? Yes. See, regulated means which are regulated under some bodies. There are a lot of are there, but for cost audit purpose, only 6 will come under. Cost audit purpose, there will be only 6 will come under there. So either regulated or non-regulated. Sir, what role the 6 will come? That is, generally it will come petroleum products, fertilizer, sugar and industrial alcohol, then telecommunication, generation and transmission of power other than for captive use. These are all the main 6 areas come under regulated. These are all the 6 areas will come under regulated. So this regulated will come either this regulated or non-regulated. Sir, what is mean by non-regulated? I will show you everything at the end of the class. In your textbook backside also. In your textbook backside also, they kept an annexure. In the annexure, they said table A and table B. Table A, there will be 6 items. Table B, there will be around 100 plus item will be there. So table A items are regulated. Table B items are non-regulated. So continue the discussion. So either regulated or non-regulated. That means this applicability common to all companies. See, each one by line they can test you. So this applicability will apply to all the company. Next provision is either domestic or foreign company. So either regulated or non-regulated, domestic or foreign company. Now, what is the provision? The provision tell that if it is engaged in the manufacturing or production, that is general point I'm not making. They tell aggregate turnover of all products and services covered under the rule. So you will be asked, sir, what is mean by covered under the rule? See, I told you in your study material backside, there will be an annexure where table A, table B will be there. Those items are called covered item. It will be identified with their CETA code. It will be identified their CETA code, that is HSN code. That is common. So aggregate turnover of all products and services covered under the rule exceed rupees 35 crore or more in the previous year, in the immediately previous year, that is in the immediate preceding year. That means in the last year, very important point. So the common point are there, engaged in manufacturing. This is common. This is engaged in manufacturing or production of goods or providing service. That is either manufacturing or production of goods or providing service. That is general point, that not a need. The main point it is here, aggregate turnover of 35 crore in the previous year. Main important point is what? Covered under the rule. So we will go for example. If a company having 5 products, A, B, C, D, E. See, the entire turnover is what? 15 plus 10, 25. 25 plus 10, 45. 45 plus 50, 95. 95 plus 100, 155. Yes or no? So the provision tells what? 35 crore. We cannot answer with this. You have to check the table. What is a table? Table A and table B, which tells regulated what are the products, not regulated what are the products. You have to check. See, 15 the product is there. This product is there. This is not there. This is not there. This is not. So you have to check. That means all the industry cost audit is not applicable. You are the cost accountants of tomorrow, my dear friends. All the public limited company, all the private limited company, whatever it is, they have to go with statutory audit. But cost audit is not applicable for all the company which is incurring, all the company which is exceeding rupees 35 crore or more. No, it is only for those companies under table A and table B. We simply call it as covered under the rule. It will be given in the question. A, B, C are covered, C, D are not covered, that mentioned. So if the turnover is exceed, now you have to take the total. This is covered 50. This is covered 10. Here and all not covered 25 crore. Suppose if it is 6,000 crore, not applicable. If this is 60,000 crore, not applicable. Only the cost audit applicable product if it is there. So you will ask the question, sir, then why they made? Only one thing. Here the one thing you have to understand. Here the main thing it is price control mechanism. The idea of cost audit is price control mechanism. Government want to control drugs and pharmaceutical. I told you, table A one item, telecommunication one item. That means some of the item where government want to make a control, they should get some benchmark calculation of cost. Companies will always inflate the cost. So a professional who is an expert knowledge in costing and cost accounting work should certify what is the actual cost. Then only government can fix the what is the price to be controlled. It can be used for tariff, It can be used for minimum support. It can be used for different area. This cost audit report cannot be used only for price control. It can be used for different. If the government want to charge the tariff or tax on cost basis, they can use cost audit report. If the government want to fix it, the contract on a cost plus contract basis, they can use the cost audit report. So that means this cost audit can be useful for all these applications. So here the turnover is coming what? 25 crore. Our provision says what? 35 crore. Since it is 35, here it is 25. Cost audit is not applicable. Suppose if this product also coming. So 15 plus 10, 20. You will have 45 crore. It is exceeds. So the cost audit is applicable. So it is cost audit, not cost records is applicable. What is cost records? I will tell you, don't worry. So here, this is what applicability of cost records. For the benefit of everyone, very fast I will tell. Regulated or non-regulated, either domestic or foreign company. So the first question they can be asked, foreign company cost audit. What all the question they will ask? First point, foreign company cost audit is applicable. Foreign company cost audit applicable. The answer is, so for each provision, our class will be how it will be now. First we will discuss the provision. Then we will discuss the example on provision. Then we will go with probable question they can be tested from provision. Probable question they can be tested from provision. Like that only we will cover it. So foreign company cost audit is applicable. The answer is what? Yes. However, there is an exemption. If a company, a foreign company having only license office and conduct activity under serial 33. If the activity under 33, the serial activity, that means as per the FEMA rule, there will be lot of activities are there. If they conduct only license office and conduct activity under serial number 33, then no cost records applicable. Then no cost records applicable. So foreign company cost audit is applicable. The first question point is what? Yes. However, a foreign company having on license office conduct activity under serial number 33, no cost records is applicable. So any exemptions for another very important question, any exemptions for cost records, any exemption for cost records? Yes. What is the exemption? Small scale industry, small scale company, government don't want to give extra bonus. The government want to give extra bonus. So MSMED Act, the act name is called MSMED, micro and small scale. So small scale company, that means covered under MSMED Act. What is the act? MSMED Act, if I'm not wrong, 2006 or 7. Correct, 2006 only. So MSMED Act 2006. Small company covered under MSMED Act 2006. There is an exemption. So there may be question will come. Simply small company, micro company exempted? No. It should be covered under the definition of MSMED Act. Then only it will applicable. So it will be covered under MSMED Act 2006. Then there will be exempt will be there. Now, if the cost audit is applicable, then the next provision will come what? Maintenance of cost records. See, if your company cost records is applicable, you have discussed the turnover. If it is requirement, you have to maintain in CRA1. That is form CRA1. If your company cost record is applicable, then you should maintain the cost record in form CRA1. What is this form CRA1? It includes 30 heading. It includes 30 heading. I will show you what all the 30 heading will come there. These are all the 30 heading will come here. These are all the 30 heading will come under material cost. What are all the material cost included? What is the employee cost? Just for your reference, I am telling, not required. What all required, I am writing in your chart. So, employee cost, utility, direct expense, repair and maintenance, fixed asset and depreciation, overhead, admin overhead. See, this most of the items are separately discussed under cost accounting standard. The most of the details are separately discussed under cost auditing standard. So that means you can be able to make it. So the maintenance of cost records discuss about 30 heading: material, employee cost, captive consumption, administrative overhead, all the item. Which form is there? This form number is very important. Form number CRA1. Form number CRA1. So which provision is discuss about? Rule 5. Which provision is discuss about? Rule 5. So you will have one doubt. Sir, rule 3 you discussed, sir. Rule 3 you discussed it. Now you jump to rule 5. What is rule 4? Rule 4 is nothing but the main thing for the day. That is applicability of cost audit. Applicability of cost audit. It discussed under 2A, 2 provision, section 148.2. Section 148.1 is what? Cost records. So section 148.2 and rule 4. So we have already discussed wherever come rule. What is the meaning of rule? Wherever come the rule. Rule means company's cost record and audit rule. Company's cost record and audit rule. So we can start. So where we can start? The first point will be what is the applicability. See here the definition and discussion is very elaborate. Here there is some relaxation for some company. There are some relaxation for another types of company. There are exemptions also there. So a lot of concepts are discussed under here. One by one we will discuss. I know you are ready. I am also ready for you. So the first point. What is the first point? Applicability. They classify into 2. First one, regulated. That is table A. Next one it is what? Non-regulated. So cost audit for regulated and non-regulated. I told you already what was the regulated. Generation, transmission of electricity other than power, that is other than for captive consumption, sugar and industrial alcohol, fertilizer, drugs and pharmaceuticals, then telecommunication. These are all the main areas of regulated. Regulated, the 6 item. What are all the 6 item I told you should remember. Because problem perspective, they will give the example. Telecommunication company. So you should understand regulated. Sugar, you should understand regulated. Then pharmaceutical, regulated. The 6 item. What is the next thing? Generation, transmission of power other than for captive use. Then industrial alcohol, that is fertilizer. Telecommunication. These are all the items come under what? Regulated. Non-regulated means other than those items which will come under table B. So regulated will come under what? It will come under table A. Non-regulated will come under what? Table B. Now what the point? The point and definition is very interesting. It is a 2 condition. See the condition here it is 2. What is the first condition? First condition telling aggregate turnover of all the product. All products and services exceed rupees 50 crore or more. That means in the last example we were discussed, here the aggregate turnover is what? If you look into the aggregate turnover, what is aggregate turnover? 15 plus 10, 25. 25 plus 20, 45, 95. Here we have 195 crore. Here we have what? 195 crore. What is coming? Exceed rupees 50 crore. So here the meaning is not covered. Not the point very well. Here it is not the meaning called not covered. Here means all the products. If the company have 5 products, entire 5. If the company have 10 products, entire products. Not the covered products alone. That is the first point. Aggregate turnover of all products and services exceed rupees 50 crore or more. Second point, and. See, what is the meaning of and? The meaning of and means both the conditions should satisfy. What is the meaning of and? Both the conditions should satisfy. So what it is and? It tell aggregate of individual turnover. Aggregate of individual turnover covered under the rule exceed rupees 25 crore or more. That means for regulated, the government is very clear. They want to make cost audit at the earliest level. That means if your aggregate turnover of individual, here the very important covered. What is the meaning of covered? The meaning of covered means you will take total of this item. This item. What is the total? So 15 plus 10, 25, 45. So this is a 2 provision. What is the 2 provision? The first provision is coming 195 and second one 45. So the applicability is what? Here it is 50 crore. Here it is 25 crore. For your reference, I am giving the example. 50 crore is for all. This company, all it is 195. This company, all it is 195. A covered item total is 25. This company, individual product covered item is what? 45. So for this company, cost audit is applicable. For this company, cost audit is applicable. So 50 crore and 25 is both satisfying under 195 and 45. Suppose if here it is nil, this also 25 is coming. Suppose if here it is both are not covered. Here it is 1. Your total will be 21. 21 means this you have 195, but here it is you have 25. Now another one example I will tell you. Another one example. If this all coming 15, 10, 20. Here you have 45. But here we have 3 and 1. If here we have 3 and 1, the total will come 49. What is the total has to come? Total has to come 50 crore. Total has to come 50 crore, but our is coming only what? 49. The condition is what? And both has to satisfy. Since both has to satisfy, cost audit is not applicable. This is the provision for table A item, that is for regulated. Sir, what about non-regulated? For non-regulated, it all discuss about. For non-regulated, it's all discuss about very simple, the same definition. The same definition. What is the definition? Instead of 50 crore, they made 100 crore. Instead of 50 crore, they made what? 100 crore. Similarly, here what they made? Here, they made 50 crore. Here they made, that means non-regulated item, they given more relaxation. Here also the condition and both has to be. So non-regulated means they given more relaxation. That means for regulated now, all the products 50 or more, covered item 25 or more. All the product means NA products. Covered item means table A, table B item, because cost audit is not for all, only table A and table B. So table A, B and table A item 25. So here coming to all the products 100. Here it is, you will have 100 crore. Here you will have 100 crore. So now going further, one small correction I will make. I made a small typing. Here it is 35 crore. For aggregate individual turnover exceed, it is only 35. That is our first provision. What is our first provision? Cost record provision, the same 35 crore only for the second thing. So now we will move on to the very important thing, exemptions. Some of the friends already we have discussed the exemption for cost records. See, these exemptions may come for your MCQ model also. So what is the exemption? This exemption is for cost audit. This exemption is for what? Cost audit. So what is the exemption for cost audit? The first one said, if a company is in SEZ. So some students always will confuse. When I am discussing cost record provision also, some of the friends are telling SEZ. Now, SEZ benefit is what? They have to make cost records. See, this exemption is only for what? Cost audit. We have two things are there. First one it is what? Cost records. Second one it is what? Cost audit. So cost records, SEZ, no exception. So be very clear. If the question is asking about cost SEZ, cost records, no exception for cost record for SEZ. Cost record exception is only for MSMED, that is small and micro level companies. For exception for cost audit is for only for what? SEZ companies. What is the companies? SEZ. Another one it is, a company is in export where revenue in foreign currency and 75% of revenue in export or through export. What is the provision? The first one it is SEZ. Second one it is export, where revenue in foreign currency and 75% of the revenue of the company through export. And another one, already we discussed one point only, that is captive consumption. Power or electricity. Captive consumption of power or electricity. So this is the another exemption for what? Cost audit. So SEZ, export, where the revenue is in foreign currency and 75% is the revenue through export. Then captive consumption of power or electricity, you will have exemption. So the cost audit provision we have discussed it. These provisions also they will test you, or maybe exemption. See, there may be a case study model question will come where they will discuss about the company, the products and all. We have to make the comment whether the cost audit is applicable or cost record is applicable. If it is applicable, how the question I will tell once we finish the MDS stretching. They will ask if it is applicable, what is the timeline for submitting the audit, when the auditor is to be appointed. All those provisions they will ask case study model. So for your benefit, all those case study model approach also I will tell you. So here we discussed it, mainly what are the question they will test you. Yes or no? The first question is what? Foreign company like that we have discussed. So here what all the question can be tested? Here the first question can be tested is what? The turnover limit. What is the turnover limit? Turnover limit before. What is the turnover meaning? What is the meaning of turnover? The meaning of turnover not defined in rule. It is defined in Companies Act. So what is Companies Act? If I am not wrong, section 291 discuss about what is the meaning of turnover. Section 291 discuss about what is the meaning of turnover, which it tells what? Aggregate of all sales, supply, distribution. So it make what? Supply, sale, distribution. Supply, sale, distribution of product or service. Of product or service. So this is simply the definition tells about. So it can be a sale, it can be a distribution, it can be a supply of product or even service. That is the meaning of turnover. Now the point is what? Another one question will come that generally making this theoretical perspective they will ask a company both in SEZ and in non-SEZ. What is the applicability? A company both in SEZ and non-SEZ, what is the applicability? Benefit only for what? Benefit only for SEZ. That means a company simply some part of its SEZ it won't get. What all the productions under the SEZ unit, you will get the exemption. Non-SEZ, you won't get any benefit. You won't get any benefit. Now the exemptions, another area they will ask that we have already discussed the three area. So what role we have discussed? First we have discussed cost audit. This is how what we discussed. Cost audit, which year it came, what are the provisions. Then we discussed Companies Act and provision, where it come from, books of accounts. Books of accounts, what is the timeline, what is the penalty, then what is the applicability of cost records, then where you will make the cost records, all we have made. Now we will go for another main areas. These all are FAQ question. These all are FAQ question for your benefit we are discussing. What are all the FAQ question we are discussing? This can be tested as a MCQ model in the compulsory model. Or as you know, there is asking theory model question also. So what is the question? We will discuss one by one. First point, all are previous year question. All are previous year question. First one, who will appoint a cost auditor? Or who will conduct cost audit? Who will do cost audit? So the answer is section 148 subsection 3. Who will conduct cost audit? Section 148 subsection 3. A cost accountant in practice. A cost accountant in practice. So the next question, who is a cost accountant in practice? See, this all will be testing for you. Who will be a cost accountant? See, you may get the answer. We are giving the entire with provisions. We are giving entire with provision with clarity. Who is a cost accountant in practice? Rule 2, if I am not wrong, sub rule B. The definition of cost accountant in practice. A member of the Institute of Cost and Works Accounts of India. Institute of Cost and Works Accounts of India or Institute of Cost Accounts of India. I am making a market made. A member of the Institute of Cost Accounts of India who holds a valid certificate of practice. Who hold a valid certificate of practice. So you will ask, what is mean by valid certificate of practice? That means I am one of the member of a cost accountants body. I am also a cost accountant in practice. So what I want to tell you on what is mean by a valid means. See, the valid means being a member, we have to follow certain conditions. First thing, annual subscription fees. That is, being a member, I want to pay annual fee. Annual fee I have to pay two ways. One is membership fee, another one is practice fee. Membership fee, I guess 1,000 rupees. Practice also 1,000 rupees. So 2,000 rupees we have to remit. If you are not remitting this 2,000, you don't have a valid. First thing. Second thing, simply passing the cost accounting course, you are not an expert. Our institute is prescribing, even after qualifying also, you should have a continuous knowledge, which is called CEP. Which is called CEP. The CEP hours issued criteria you have to mention. So this CEP criteria you have to mention. So that will also come under valid. So you should pay the fee because now the entire pattern of exam is changing. So for latecomers, I am telling, we will share you the journal. We will share you the journal, don't worry. So what I am telling now, see, this valid means he should make his remit the fees and he should also attend the minimum criteria of after qualification classes also. Then only we call him as a what? Valid certificate of practice. Next point, can cost accountant in employment. Lot of FAQ are discussing now for your benefit. Lot of FAQ are discussing for your benefit. Can a cost accountant in employment can do cost audit? The answer is no, because already we discussed it. As per 148.3, a cost accountant in practice. So this is your all MCQ question, true or false question. You can see your online MTP or your previous year question. Can a cost accountant in employment can do cost audit? The answer is no. Same thing, can a CA can do cost audit? A chartered accountant can do cost audit. Can a chartered accountant, they will ask that way. Can a chartered accountant can do cost audit? The answer is no. There are some confusion whether they can do. No, only it is an exclusive area for you. You can only do the cost audit. Now, firstly, now we are very clear on who can do a cost audit. We are clear. Now, next point, who will appoint cost audit? Who will appoint cost auditor? Who will appoint cost auditor? See, generally, the statutory auditors generally appointed by the general meeting, that is annual general meeting. But cost auditor is not appointed. Cost auditor is appointed by the, who will appoint cost auditor? It is appointed by the board of directors. Don't get confused. The Companies Act is very clear. They are giving the provision for board to appoint the cost auditor. So cost auditor can be appointed by the board of directors. The next point, very important, time limit. These are all they will ask case study model question. Time limit for appointing cost auditor. Time limit for appointing cost auditor. See, now we have discussed it. What is the criteria for cost audit? See, what is the criteria when it will apply? So that means it tells in the previous year. Aggregate turnover of all the products in the previous year. So if in the previous year, if a previous year, if in, see, we will have a doubt clarity session after the theoretical concept also. We will have a doubt session also after the end of the session, don't worry. So now the point is what? In the previous year. So in the previous year, if this criteria fulfill. If in the previous year, these two criteria fulfill. If in the previous year, these two criteria fulfill, then cost audit is applicable. Then when you want to appoint cost auditor, very important point, 180 days from the commencement of financial year in which cost auditor is to be appointed. So it is very clear. See, you should be very good concept. This area, they can be tested different level. See, just a discussion, you will get all the concept. That is 180 days from the commencement in financial in which cost auditor is to be appointed. So as I discussed provision, we will with the example. So here we will go for example. What is the example? I will tell you. If 2019-20 year, if 2019-20 year, if the turnover criteria meets, if the turnover criteria meets, for 2021 onwards, cost auditor needs to be appointed. So 90-20 basis, 2021 onwards, time limit is what? 180 days from April 1st, 2000. 180 days from April 1st, 2020. You have to do. So that means this is the criteria for what? Time limit for appointing cost auditor. Second point, very, very important. Here I am not giving as a question, I am telling you as a provision itself. Once cost audit is applicable, even upcoming year turnover doesn't meet, cost audit shall continue. What is the meaning that once you come under the purview of cost audit, then if it is even no cost or no turnover is not, that is even below 50 or below 100 it is coming, still you have to go under what? Cost audit. Still you have to go under what? Cost audit. This is another very important point. That means once the applicability came, then it should be go up to end of the things. Now let me tell, see each year, see right now it is applicable under Companies Act. Right now the cost audit is applicable under Companies Act 2013. Earlier it is applicable under 1956 Act. So in 1956 Act, listing company, do they require cost audit? Or listing company, under listing they may ask. Process of listing. They get unnecessary question they will ask. They will give lot of, one example I am telling. Under the process of listing, lot of case. Everything answer is what? Answer is Rule 4. That means Rule 4 doesn't tell us about listing. It tells about if you are regulated 50 and 25. If you are non-regulated 150. If you are regulated 50 and 25, non-regulated 135. 135. This is what applicability. Whether it is listing, whether it is bond, nothing they will ask. So be very clear. That is just for confusion is given. That and all under old provision. Under old provision, if you are a listed company, Even turnover criteria doesn't meet, you have to come. But now it is what? Not at all a criteria. Now going under next position. So time limit for appointing cost auditor, we have to pick. Yes or no? Time limit for appointing cost auditor 180 days. Now, who will appoint? Once the cost auditor is appointed, company has to intimate, very important question. Company has to intimate appointment of cost auditor to central government within 30 days of appointment in form number CRA2. CRA1 already we have discussed. What is CRA1? CRA1 discuss about cost record maintenance, 30 item. CRA2 is what? Intimating the appointment of cost auditor to central government. So this has to be made in what? CRA2. This has to be made in what? CRA2. So company has to intimate appointment of cost auditor to central government within 30 days of appointment in CRA2. So this has been completed. Now this is very important. So CRA2 is for what purpose? Intimation. So before that, company has to get before appointment, company has to get consent from cost auditor. What is his consent all about? Is qualified? He does not have any other things. There should be a consent should be get from the cost auditor. This is also recently added. So if the consent of cost auditor, if you don't get, if the consent of cost auditor, if you don't get, then the appointment is not proper. So you should get consent from the cost auditor. Now another main point. So what happened now? Before that, continuous one pass. Now we will give a 10 minutes break. I'm getting some whistling and all. So we will give a 10 minutes break. After the break, we will discuss very important topic relating to cost audit. Regularly coming question we will discuss, because theory session at a full-fledged we cannot able to take. So I'll give a small break. You can also get a fresh up. After the break, we will resume and we will discuss other important, the main important positions is to cover. We just started only. So continuous thing, I'm just getting some whistling. So we will go for a small break. Then I will resume it. So we'll resume by 7:40. We'll resume by 7:40. Yes, my dear friends. So we will resume. Hope my voice is clear. So we were discussing main important concept or questions relating to cost audit. So we will discuss another type of question. Now, another important thing, remuneration of cost audit. See, just now we have discussed appointment of cost auditor is done by the board of directors. Appointment of cost auditor is appointed by the board of directors. But remuneration of cost audit, what is the provision? The remuneration having 2 points. The first provision is that if a company is having audit committee, there is no audit committee. A company is having audit committee, a company is not having the audit committee. If the company having audit committee will recommend. If a company does not have the audit committee, then board of directors will recommend. So the provision is what? Remuneration of cost auditor. So if audit committee is there, audit committee will recommend. If there is no audit committee, board of directors will recommend. So what will be the provision? Audit committee is there, will recommend. Board of directors will recommend. Finally, the key of remuneration is with members will ratify in AGM general meeting. That means remuneration final power is only with members. Very, very important point. Remuneration cannot be decided by the board. Only appointment can do by the board. Remuneration will be by the what? Members only. But board can recommend or audit committee can recommend. That is the only thing. Next point. Removal or resignation of cost auditor. Removal or resignation of cost auditor. Company can remove, but before removal. So what are all the points each one by one? Anyone, there will be probable question from each point. There is a probable question from each point. So company can remove, but before opportunity of being heard. Then resignation. Cost auditor can also resign. So continue to the point. Fill up of casual vacancy. Fill up of casual vacancy. What is the meaning of that? There can be a casual vacancy either by death of a cost auditor, removal or resignation, whatever it is. Casual vacancy also by board of directors. So normal appointment also board of directors. Casual vacancy also board of directors. What are the reasons for casual vacancy? Disqualification, death, resignation, removal. Anything can be of what? Casual vacancy. So now we have already discussed it. What is the main point? We have already discussed it. Time limit for submitting appointment. Now the main point. time limit for submitting cost audit report. What is the meaning this? That is when you can submit your cost audit. We will go with example. First, I will tell provision, then we will go for example. First, we will tell with the example provision, then we will go for example. The provision is what? 180. You have to submit within 180 days. You have to submit within 180 days from the closure of financial year in which cost auditor is appointed. That means on the base of 1920 previous year, 2021 year, you have appointed as a cost auditor. So that means so you have appointed for the cost auditor. So what do you have to do from 21? That is 1st April 2021 to 180. You have to submit the cost audit report. The next point, very important, tenure of cost auditor. Maybe statutory auditor and all, you might have been learned a very big 5-year, whatever it is. But tenure of cost auditor is very limited. Tenure of cost auditor, very important point. That is within 180 days from the closure of financial year. That is time limit. Or till he submit the cost audit report. What is the provision? Tenure is what? Within 180 days from the closure of the financial year or till he submit the cost audit. That is, if he submit the cost audit report before his tenure is over, that is maximum 1 year. That is one term only. Next year, can he appoint? Yes, he can appoint it. Can a cost auditor is eligible for reappointment? Can a cost auditor is? Most of you are very much relevant to know this concept because your scope of practice. Or eligible for reappointment? Yes. In statutory auditor, you might have been learned one concept called rotation of auditor. That is, you can do 2 blocks, some limit is there, you can do audit. Then you have to change. That is rotation of auditor is applicable for cost audit. Cost auditor. What is your answer, my dears? Rotation of auditor is applicable for cost audit. The answer is no. The rotation of cost auditor is not applicable. That means if I am the cost auditor is appointed for X company, I can be the cost auditor for n number of years. It is not mentioned in the rule. It is mentioned in the company's cost record and audit rule. It is not mentioned. It is mentioned in the company's audit and auditors rule. It is mentioned in the company's audit and auditors rule. It tells very clear it is only for chartered accountant. That is what it is not applicable for company. Now what is next? Rotation of auditor is not applicable for cost auditor. Now the main thing, before that let me tell you, here we discussed one concept. company has to here we have discussed one point. Company has to intimate appointment of cost auditor to central government within 30 days of appointment in CRA 2. So within 30 days or either within 30 days or 180 days from the financial year, whichever is earlier. This point we have missed. This point we have missed. What is the point? That is, company has to intimate appointment of cost to central government within 30 days or 180 days from the financial year, whichever is early. That means if your appointment is on September 1 or September 20, maximum up to the September end only, you have to make it. That is a 30 days benefit if you are not getting, if you are appointing in the 12th, the last month, that is 180 days. If you are appointing on the 118th day, you have to submit immediately the 118th day. You won't get the benefit of 30 days. Suppose if you are appointing on April month or May month, then you will get a time period of what? 1 month. But it is subject to what? Main cap. That is, the main sublimit is what? 180 days. Okay. So now going further, another important thing. So the tenure we have discussed. Yes or no? Now to whom cost auditor will submit cost audit report, to whom the cost audit will submit, whether it will be central government. The answer is, it is not to the central government. It is to the board of directors. It is to the board of directors. When it will be made? Within 180 days from the closure of financial year in which he appointed as a cost auditor. Very important. So he has to submit to the board of directors and within 180 days from the closure of the financial year in which he appointed as a cost auditor. That point I am not made separately. That is very clear. So what form? The form he has to submit is CRA 3. The form he has to submit is CRA 3, not the CRA 4. So once the company receive the cost audit report, once company receive within 30 days of, these all numbers are very important. That is what all the provisions step by step I am telling. Within 30 days of cost audit report, within 30 days of cost audit report from cost auditor, company has to submit central government in CRA 4. So there will be match the following or there will be connection will be there. CRA 3 by what? Cost auditor to company. CRA 4 is what? Company to central government. So be very clear. What is the time limit? CRA 3 time limit is 180 days from the completion of the financial year. But whereas CRA 4 time limit is what? 30 days. CRA 4 time limit is what? 30 days from the submission of cost audit report. Now there is a one question you may have. Sir, tenure you said 180 days from the closure of financial year or till he submit the cost audit report. See, today one practical situation I will tell. See, I am the cost auditor for few of the companies in Chennai and out of Chennai also. Today I had a discussion. Today I had a discussion with one of my client in Mumbai. Today I had a discussion with one of my client in Mumbai. See, in the cost audit report, there will be a report you have to make GST reconciliation. This is that is I have to make. For this GST reconciliation, being the cost auditor, I want to get the GST audit report. GST audit report. Another one company that is also in Mumbai. That is also in Mumbai. You know, when I have to submit the cost audit report, I have to submit within 180 days. Already September 30th is over. Because of this COVID situation, there is an extension. It is there, but it is ending by 13th November. So now let us discuss one point. See, in Mumbai, there is another one client. What is that client situation? Still statutory audit is not over. Statutory audit not over. See, now let us discuss some important point. See, now I will discuss some important point. What is some important point? Point number one. If statutory audit is not over, what I have to do? See, the point is what? See, cost auditor duty is to submit within the days. MCA will extend. Now look here, MCA extended from September, they extended. Now possibly they may extend. Now what happened? Now you all comes to aware that companies given some extension for their annual filing. Because of this COVID everything, 31st December is for company. So company, they have given a lot of benefit. So what happened now? I can make two options. First, if the statutory limit or the time limit for cost audit is over, it is not extending, I can submit on provisional basis. This is one of the previous year question also. Then later on, if any major changes is there, I can make a supplementary report. That means the statutory report is very important. Why? Because there is I told in the beginning, we have to prepare, we have to do what? Yes. Profit reconciliation, value addition. These are all your previous year questions. For profit reconciliation, value addition statement and all, you should get company share capital, company debt, company equity. These are all I have to take from the balance sheet. That is audited balance sheet. I have to take from the audited balance sheet. So if the audited balance sheet is not there, what we have to do? Our time is getting ended. So what we have to do? We have to do this what? Parallelly the same way. So that is statutory audit not over. Clear? So if the statutory audit is not over, how to proceed? We have discussed. If the statutory audit is you have to make. If cost audit is time is there, we have to submit no excuse. Unless MCA given extension. We can make a provisional report. Later on, we can rectify our supplementary report if it is required. So we have discussed those provision also. Now, what is the next point? So time limit we have discussed. Now, to whom the cost audit will submit the cost audit report is within 30 days in CRA 4. This we have to make it in CRA 4. So now for your benefit, I would like to highlight some of the important points. Okay. Before that, another one. This is regularly coming essay, but now in MCQ model they may not ask. That is reporting of fraud. That is section 143.12 discussing about fraud. That means if the cost auditor, while undergoing its cost audit report, if he found anything fraud or any such activities, he has to report. He has to give it first 45 days to the board of directors. If the board of directors report is not satisfactory, he can inform directly in another 15 days. So the total time period will come for you what? 16 days. This is the reporting of fraud under section 143.12. But now, as per this online MCQ, this is not such important area. Because online MCQ, maybe these dates may be relevant. That I have told. So board of directors, the company has to reply within 45 days. This 15 days plus 15 days to if you are not satisfactory, MCR is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Ministry of Corporate Affairs, if you want, I will tell the address also. This is the address you have to make it. So that is not required because the entire pattern is changes. So this is the address you have to make the Secretary MCA, you have to make it. It will be duly signed. It should be in the form. So everything it is there. So this is the special provision. But directors don't want to report. This is not that directors never report fraud. Directors only will commit the fraud. Directors only will commit the fraud. Okay. Without director knowledge, nothing will happen. So if the directors report, if you are not satisfactory, it is the duty of the cost auditor. This provision also applicable. Mutandis. This will also applicable for the statutory auditor also. So we have to report. It is our commitment to report the fraud. Okay. So this is the another question that generally will ask. So now, my dear question, my dear friends, what are all the some point we have highlighted? I will tell. Then we will go for some MCQ which is discussed in your study material also. Additional MCQs. So first thing what we have discussed now, for cost audit was first time applicable in 1965. This is for price control mechanism. The main objective is what? Control the true and fair view of cost of production or providing the service. So the first we will discuss applicability of cost records, 35 crore. Then we will discuss applicability of cost audit. That is two things, regulated and non-regulated. That two things, regulated and non-regulated. Where we have discussed in detail about what regulated now, what is the provision, non-regulated now, what is the provision. Then cost audit related points also we have discussed. Who can be appointed, what is the time limit, tenure, report, removal, all those points we have discussed. Now some general FAQs are there. Those FAQs we will just discuss here. I will just open your study material so that you can able to make it those MCQs. I will highlight. Your new study material have some changes. That because of that pattern, there are some. Yes. See, from the discussion, now we were covered the topic which is discussed in the first two chapters of your syllabus. This is what we were discussed. The first two chapters, origin, all those points, we have told the first thing. This is only most relevant for us. This we were discussed. Section 148, all the provision we have discussed there. So this penalty, let me tell you. See this penalty, okay, we will parallelly go with your syllabus. There is a penalty, penal provision. What is a penalty? If on the fault of company, 25,000 to 5 lakh. If it is a fault on the company, or if it is officer, 10,000 to 1 lakh. Then imprisonment up to or cost auditor. So if it is a company fault, 25,000 to 5 lakh. See, we have already discussed one penalty here. Here the penalty is 50,000 to 5 lakh. For cost records we have discussed, but this is for all other provision. That is rule 1 to rule 6. So any rule 1 to rule 6, if you are making penalty, it will go 25,000 to 5 lakh. Or if an officer of a cost auditor, 10,000 to 1 lakh, or imprisonment up to 1 year. Suppose if the cost auditor do willfully, then he has to refund the fees 3 times of penalty. Some additional provisions are there. So this is what discussed it. So this what rule? See, your unit 1 already only the base only. See, this is what I was telling about the rule. So this rule we have already discussed it. These are all the point they were discussing. This all we have discussed. This all the chart basis. This is 30 point. CRA 2, CRA 3. This whole point we have discussed. So this is the definition, not required. This is what the 6 point which we were highlighting you lot of time. Please remind this 6 point. Please remain, because while they are giving example, because this is called a table A item. This is called a table A item. So these table A item, the provision cost audit now, it is 50 and 25. Table B item now 100 and 35. This is a August edition textbook. It is page number 12. See, this is regulated and non-regulated. Already this point I repeated a lot of time in the class, but I am highlighting with your study material. So regulated now page number 50 and 50 crore and 25 crore. So what will happen now? In the example, they will tell telecommunication company, electricity power generation company, or petroleum, fertilizer, these wording. So already I have told it. For your benefit, once again I am repeating. Telecommunication company, generation transmission of power other than for captive use, petroleum products, drugs and pharmaceutical, fertilizer, sugar and industrial alcohol. So these 6 names you should remember. Why you should remember? See, why you should remember? Because when the question is coming, any of the item, I will show you the model of question also. I will show you the model of question also. One second. I will show you the end. I will show you the end. Where they will tell a company engaged in the sugar activity. A company engaged in the sugar activity. So sugar now it will come under regulated. So you should be very clear on that. Non-regulated, no need to remember all the name because they won't test you on that. So non-regulated. Now what role other than this? It's non-regulated, because non-regulated I told more than item. See, these are all identify what? CETA code. I have already told these are all identified by CETA code. The CETA code comparison you don't want to do. So these all points we have discussed. This is the rule I told already. So now problems and all we will discuss separately. Problems and all we will discuss separately. See, this is what discussed in your study material very less. But we have discussed in detail. Your study material discussed very less. Now, if you come to your study material, there is an annexure is there. Here come more number of things. If you come to your study material, there is an annexure is there where they were discussing frequently asked question, company cost audit rule. This is the 2 area where we have discussed more questions. So I will show you those things also. I will show you those things also for your benefit. Yes. See, this is what. See now, my dear friends, if you look into here all the provision, let me tell some friends are thinking, sir, do we want to remember everything? My answer is no. This is released by your institute for members like us. I told already, we are cost auditors in practice. We will have a lot of doubt. So this is released by institute for the members. This is released by the institute for members. So relevant question, most of them we have discussed for your purpose. Anyhow, I am giving for your benefit what all the relevant and not relevant for you. What all the relevant? This point already we have discussed rule and page. Here there is applicability of cost audit. See the applicability of cost audit. What days it comes to effective? If they want to test you on this is your institute study material only. This is your institute study material. I opened online. Don't worry. So what date it is applicable? See the point it is for your reference. 1 mark if they want to test. The rule is effective from 1st April 2014 and this is effective from April for 2015. That is the applicability. This is one time previous year question. Applicability is a one-time previous year question. Now we were discussed. This point already we have highlighted. Now next thing. See, next thing, the institute or time to time issue FAQ. This remains subsequent cost audit comes to effect. See, this is not relevant for us. For you, I have already discussed. So this is also not relevant. So relevant point we will discuss. This turnover we have discussed already. Turnover already we have discussed. So all the points we have discussed. So this is very interesting question. Look here. Is maintenance of cost accounting record mandatory for multi-product company where all the products are not covered under the rule, even if the turnover of individual products are covered under the rule less than 35 crore? So we know the provision. If it is less than 35, not applicable. If it is more than 35, that is applicable. This is a previous year question for intermediate. What is the difference between cost accounting policy and cost accounting system? But you know, for you, the main point is what? For you, it is a theoretical perspective question. That's what I have not discussed it. Because when it comes MCQ model, the choice of asking these kind of questions are very less. So this point is already made here. Now another question is what? A company meet. This is very important. We will discuss. This question we will discuss. A company meet the threshold limit for both maintenance of cost records and cost records in year 0. Previous year is 0 and consequently come under the purview of year 1. If the turnover of company reduced to lower than prescribed limit, whether the cost audit record is applicable year 2. We have told this point already. So I am telling you how they will ask for question. All these provision we have discussed. I am telling you how they will ask for question. The answer we have already made. See, once it reduced also, it will continue. Once applicable, it will go as it is. Once it applicable, it will go as it is. This is not product group, general point of view. See, whether the separate CRA 2 is filed by the, no, you can able to make it only 1 point. So these are all the point. What is a telecommunication and a toll coverage? This is general for practicing cost auditor, not relevant for us. Aeronautical service. So now what happened, I want to tell you the, see this whole point, this is all we have discussed. I am not discussing. I am just telling the clue that I have not taken everything from moon and everywhere. I have taken this all from where your study material only. I have taken all from your study material only. Some of the point, see now this point and all, we have not discussed today. This point when we will discuss while discussing in the tomorrow problem area. Because value addition is a problem area. I have told you one example also. I have told you one example question also. So what will happen now? What example question I have told you? That means in the current scenario, if statutory audit is not completed, we cannot do value addition and all. So these are all the points we have already discussed it. So you can able to go through that. This is relevant, but in your online pattern, theory question they will asking will be very less. So that I have discussed lot of questions I avoided. See this qualification, disqualification, I have not discussed it. Why? Because online pattern it is not relevant. Online pattern it is not relevant. So for the latecomers everyone, I will repeat once again. This is the cost audit provision, Companies Act provision and rule, which will come as per the current pattern 12 to 15. We have finished now. We have finished now. Now these problem related areas only we have pending. This we will discuss in the coming classes. Some of the friends are asking, see, I will give you all the MTP consolidated MCQ question. I will give you all the MTP consolidated MCQ question plus some additional MCQ also. So for that, you can able to score maximum mark of 20 out of 20 in MCQ. MCQ, you have to score minimum out of this 50. No compromise. Then 40 problem, you don't want to worry. We will ensure you score the mark problem. Problem 35 to 40 if you score, your mark already comes to 55. Then the theory discussion will match your score into exemption level. If you follow as per the same pattern and weightage, if you are suggesting, you can able to score minimum 80 mark. Continuously last 2-3 attempts, only the highest scoring in cost audit is our student only. Only one reason, it is one of the easiest scoring paper. If you approach strategically the subject, it is very easy. So since this is a theory session, what we are going to do now, if any individual doubt for any students, we will have a doubt session, because theory session more than 2 hours we cannot talk much. So tomorrow we will discuss with the problem. Tomorrow we will discuss with the problem. Timing I will tell. So these all the classes will be available in YouTube. Some of the friends are asking, sir, I joined late, sir, whether it will be available in YouTube. Yes, it will be available in YouTube. And one more thing, whatever I have written in this journal, also I will share you. Though my handwriting is not good, I will share you this journal. I will share you in the Excel format. So now some of the friends are asking what role this in the MCQ. So this MCQ, relevant point already I have discussed. Remuneration we have discussed it. So these are all not in your syllabus. As an MCQ base only we are discussing. So everything we have discussed. So these are also in your study material. We have discussed the turnover example. In your study material also they have given case study with the see. This is what we have put tick mark. So they have given what is the revenue, yes or no. So they have given very good, wonderful example. So these case study examples are irrelevant. Suppose if you are joined late, if you are not able to recall the example, if you have discussed, you can able to go for this. And this is FAQ 2. This is the MCQ. This is not. This is not required. This annexure is not required for you. This annexure is not required for you. That's all. So they have discussed only one FAQ. So now any doubt you can ask it. Since it is theory session, we cannot conduct a very long session. So any doubt, anything before that, Balaji, can you unmute and ask? Because I am checking your question, but I am not able to get it. You are asking 2.15. I couldn't be able to see. Can you unmute and tell me the page number? So once again, I will just check with the class workbook. Any point I just missed anything. So we have discussed. Remya is asking reappointment and a appointment. See, generally, cost auditor case, there is nothing called a reappointment. That is same person if you are appointing again. For that purpose, I use the term called reappointment. Actually, the cost auditor tenure is 1 year only. That is up to submitting. So once you submit, again next year, again appointment. So the term reappointment, I mean it was, if the same person appointing again, that is what called reappointment. Okay. So I hope, Ramya, you are clear now. So any doubt, please ask. Please. So tomorrow morning session, we will discuss the very important area for problem perspective. We will discuss the provision and only we will go for problem. We won't start the problem very fast. What we will discuss now? Yes. We will discuss the profit reconciliation, value addition, ratio analysis, all those topics. I will share you the material today itself. The material will be shared today itself. So we will discuss all those problems. The morning session, since it is a cost audit class, lesser syllabus, we will start by 7 a.m. only. The class will be 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. The class will be 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Because it's theory session, small area only. We won't start by early morning 6. We will start by 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So some of the doubt, if you have, some of the friends are asking some doubt. So we'll just clarify those doubts. 2.15. Where is 2.15? Here it is nothing. I think Balaji, you are having outdated material. So this is the new material I have opened. Okay. So you please share me in private. Okay. Turnover example. Okay, this turnover example. See, this class is a recorded video. You will get it in YouTube. So if you miss the example, we will share you separately. Okay. If you miss the example, we will share you separately. Okay. So rotation process. Yes. Preeti is asking for rotation process. Preeti is what? See, there is a company's cost record and audit rule which tells rotation of auditors. If I am not wrong, then it discussed under rule 7. So what this discuss about is what? After a specific period, the auditor has to be changed. That is what rotation of auditor. The point what we have to learn is cost auditor rotation is not applicable. What we have to learn is cost auditor rotation is not applicable. That means cost auditor can be appointed for n number of years now. But maybe company internal policy, they may keep up to a certain period, cooling off period. It is all about cooling off period. They may change sometime. But as per the provision, there is no period of applicability for cost auditor. He can be appointed for n number of years. So hope Preeti you are clear. No. Selim doubt audit committee. Board of directors only. Audit committee can recommend, but board of directors only will appoint the cost audit. Radha is asking, employee, no, if you are in employment, you cannot do, because if you want to do cost audit, you should get cost audit in practice, COP. I told a valid certificate of practice. So you will get valid certificate of practice only when if you are not in employment. You have to give some declaration. I am not in employment. Then only you will get the valid certificate of practice. So you cannot do that. So any other doubt, please ask. I think Varun Bhaiya look wrongly. Your online MTP pattern having questions of descriptive also. Question number 2, 3 and all descriptive only. I think you don't look into the question very well. It is not 100% MCQ. It is having both. Yes, regulated and non-regulated turnover. See, it's very simple. Regulated and non-regulated turnover is this. See, if you are a regulated, aggregate turnover of all the products are 50, products covered under the rule are 25. If you are a non-regulated, aggregate turnover of all the products are 100 instead of 50, and here it is 35. So I think now you are clear, my dear. So any other doubt, please ask. Page number 330. So one doubt, which question? Page number 335. What is the question, my dear Balaji? 2.15Q is not there. Audit report submit. Suresh, the time limit is very simple. 180 days from the closure of financial year in which cost auditor is appointed. Since this is a theory area, you should be very clear in concept. That is what we are having a separate theory concept. That means if you are appointed for the financial year 2021, at the end closure, that is from 1st April 21 to 180 days. I hope, Suresh, you are clear now. That is closure, 180 days is the maximum time. So I think all the other questions we have completed. So very small topic only our intention to take today. So those area we have completed. It will come for your exam around 12 to 15 mark. So tomorrow we'll move on to problem area. So this cost audit subject is one of the easiest paper you can score maximum mark. So this revision class is more than enough for you to get it. This revision class is more than enough for you to get the maximum mark. MCQ and breakup in exam. MCQ breakup and all, just go through online, you will understand immediately. It is same your previous year question pattern only. Same your question pattern only, previous year question pattern only. So any other relevant question relating to class, please ask. Yes. Pretty correct, like that only. 180 days means days. 30, 31 like that. But generally MCA will tell last date as September 30. Generally MCA will tell last date as September 30. That is what generally MCA will tell. Any other doubt? So class related, any doubt, please ask. Come on. Cost record provision, Pasupati sir, very easy. Cost record, two things. First thing, it is applicable for both regulated and non-regulated, domestic or foreign. Criteria is what? Covered product 35 crore or more. Covered product 35 crore or more. That is the provision. And MSMED, which is covered, for them, it is not applicable. For them, it is not applicable. So hope you are clear. Any other doubt? I will share you the journal. I will share you the journal plus tomorrow material now itself. Another 10 minutes I will share. Okay. So hope meet you all tomorrow morning. We are winding up the session. I think MCA only. Central government means MCA only. But exam purpose, central government only will rate everywhere. It is actually, there is a cost audit branch under MCA. There is a cost audit branch under MCA. They only take decision relating to cost audit. Under MCA, there is a lot of branch. There is a branch called cost audit branch. Those cost audit branch only responsible for cost audit. Okay, all those details. Tomorrow class, I have already told what we are going to discuss. Already informed what we are going to discuss. Okay. So any other doubt, please ask. So thank you all. Thank you.